Hey, it's John Gafford. If you want to catch up more and see what we're doing, you can always go to thejohngafford.com, where we'll share any links that things we talked about on the show, as well as links to the YouTube where you can watch us live. And if you want to catch up with me on Instagram, you can always follow me at thejohngafford. I'm here. Give me a shout. Back again, boys. Part two. Yeah, if you remember, if you're watching us on YouTube, give me a solid. Give us a subscribe. Give us a like. Give us a share. Give us one of those things. Give us something that you throw there in the comments. It'd be great. Would be good. But, man, we went to lunch today. I got to tell you, Connell. We went to lunch, and we have a new Thai restaurant right here by the office. And you know when you go to a Thai restaurant, you're like, can I get like a 4 or can I get like a 7?
You never know what that is.
Dude,
4 could be nuclear. 4 could be water.
No. There's certain Thai restaurants that you go to, and I think they have it down, right? Yep. And then you have these guys, which are just kind of like Yahtzee. Like they're just like Yahtzee. Like there's that one seed they put in the sauce, and maybe you get it, maybe you don't.
You want 4 ghost peppers?
Oh, God. No, but it was absolutely ruthlessly hot.
Yes.
To the point where like I got back for an hour. It reminded me of something I saw with you yesterday. Tell us what you did yesterday.
So we set up that show, Hot Ones. I'm absolutely fascinated by it. I love that show. I think Sean Evans does a great job interviewing. It's a lot of fun for me because first time I saw it, I'm like, who's this dry guy? And after watching him, you kind of understand his personality, and it's really fun. So I went out, as I'm apt to do. The minute I see something, I jump online and I buy it. I get it ordered to my house. So I got 6, like from 4 and on or something of the spices, not the first ones because those are just classic hot sauces.
Yeah.
Got the hottest ones, including the Apollo Last Dab, which is a mash
That's
of the
one.
hottest pepper on planet Earth.
What's the?
It's like they hybridize.
The scale. What do they call the scale?
Scovilles.
Scoville scale.
So
right,
Tabasco's 4,000 Scovilles.
Yep.
These peppers, whatever they are again, pepper X they call it, is a mix of splices between the Trinidad Scorpion, the what do they call that? The ghost pepper, and then the Carolina Reaper. Yeah. The Carolina Reaper was done by this guy, Smokin' Ed, from Pucker Butt Peppers.
Yeah, he was smoking something.
From a company called Pucker Butt Peppers. Okay, Smokin' Ed Searing or something. And anyway, so I'm like, well, this is a great idea. I should try this because I grew up in a house where ketchup was hot sauce. Like a one, margarine was too spicy. Margarine was too spicy for my dad. So I've kind of been fascinated by people that could eat really hot foods, and so just like anything in life, I can do that.
Sure. So
I've had run-ins before with hot food, and it's always been fine with me. Never really a problem. So we set them up, went out, got a bunch of wings from PT's. By the way, PT's is the opposite of Chili's. Fantastic wings.
Fantastic.
Big, meaty, great wings. Just try it out. They got a new distributor 3 months ago.
See, Chili's. Figure it out, Chili's. Again, please call Chili's corporate and just ask them, what did you do to John Gafford? I would make my day if you would just do that for me. It would make my day.
Yeah, so the wife had Caitlin had these dishes. We set it up like they do in Hot Ones with the milk and the ice water and the whole thing. And while we're at PT's, this guy goes, hey, our guy in the back makes this Trinidad Scorpion sauce.
Of course he does.
He's like, I almost killed 2 guys with it last week. And I go, well, it's not hotter than the Apollo, so we'll make it our second sauce.
Right.
And anyway, if you watch the show, there's this one called Da Bomb. And it's
the last one.
The second. It's the third to last.
Oh, third to last. Sorry.
It's the one before the penultimate.
Okay. Penultimate.
I
see what you did.
Second last.
I see what you did.
So I want the drop. But, so this one called Da Bomb. All the other spices that they build up to were just nice. Some were okay. Kind of taste like chili verde, whatever, going through.
Yeah.
And then you get to the Da Bomb.
And it's game time.
It was so fucking gross. It was so gross. It tasted like if you dumped a bunch of dry cayenne pepper on your tongue. Yeah. And so it says it's 135,000 Scoville units, okay? And the last one is 3 million.
Oh, God.
You're doing this with your wife.
And the wife, I was about to say, the wife is doing this too.
She's wing for wing. Because, she's got a bit of the sniffles right now, and she can't really taste anything. It's not COVID. But she just thought this would be the right time to do it because she's like, well, I can't taste anything, so I would love to taste something right now.
Yes. So
maybe we can break through. Eat the bomb, and we are both just fucked from it. Just
throw up?
No, it's hot. It's like you licked charcoal. Like someone has a Zippo on your tongue. It's not fun. It's really painful. So we get through and go through, and she had just slathered this shit on it. I read the ingredients. I go online. It's like add a drop to a gallon of chili or something. It is not it's not a sauce. Like, it's not for consumption like that. My face is just on fire and just absolutely relentless heat. And so we go do the next two, and they are nothing in comparison.
Really?
Because you put
I already just burnt off.
You didn't dilute it how you're supposed
You just put the
Burnt
death
off
sauce on there.
But she did that again with that last dab. Like, she put it straight on the wing. That nuclear Apollo 3
But it's
million.
because you were just already done.
But I mean, how do you? There's no such thing as half pregnant, right? Like, you're kind of
a little bit pregnant.
You're kind of at the end. So
Can't do that.
anyway, so we got through it all, ate it all. I go look up a review of this thing called The Bomb, and they're like, "Don't eat this. It's really terrible. It's funny to make people go through it. It hurts way more than literally those million X Scovilles. This is the one that show's built on that premise.
Yeah.
Where that is the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
Really?
That's the one.
That's the one. Because if you get to that and you pass it, you won't die.
All right. Speaking of passing it, I know we all want to know. It's been a solid day now. What say you, counselor?
It's one of the worst ideas I've ever had.
Rough night?
Oh,
Rough everything. It's not. It's just not for your mushy insides are weak. Okay, you have battery acid in your stomach, and I thought that would take care of it. No. I mean, I'm talking about the tips of your fingers.
Would you ever try it again?
There's absolutely no reason. There's nothing good about it. It's like saying, "Hey, I've never been kicked in the nuts. Colt, give me a real good solid kick in the nuts." After you do it, you're like, "Okay, I did that. Wow,
Last time. First time.
That's about the end of it for me."
oh,
Well, this guy's over here at a number 3 crying at lunch today.
Bro,
Crying.
technically, I got the 4.5.
Yeah.
Because Scott said 4, so I'm like, I got a man up a little bit past Scott, so I said 4.5.
You know what the problem is?
Dude, I was sweating. My nose was running. I was
Complained the whole time.
I don't know if I could.
He complained the whole time.
Oh,
Turns
God,
out
it was hot.
One server goes to 5, one goes to 10.
Well,
That's it. Yeah, exactly.
You know what it is? I don't know what it is about John, but anytime we go have Thai food, he loves to be a smart ass. He's the biggest smart ass. We can go to lunch every day and be fine, but once we go to a Thai restaurant, there's some smart ass remark he's got to do. Then they forget who made the remark, and they always think it's me, so they never bring my food out.
No.
So John talk Thai.
Let's be clear. Every restaurant we go to, they look at you and they go, "Fuck that guy."
Yeah.
Just before we even sit down.
I never get my milk, right?
That's 100% what happens. Because they just you're
Standing orders.
No, it is 5 minutes after us every time.
They see the Android.
Oh, is that what it is?
Of course.
Exactly. They see the droid. They're like,
You guys
yeah,
you know what?
they're like, this guy wants to get my text yet? No.
This guy's
That's
going to
what he
fuck up
gets.
every group chat forever with all his friends. All his civilized friends have obviously iPhones.
Yeah.
And that nice blue.
Not true.
Colt
Not
laughed
true.
at comment. Thanks, Colt.
Yeah.
No one
like the
catches when
comments.
I actually type that out.
Am I texting Colt or am I in WhatsApp?
Hey, what's wrong with WhatsApp? There you
Android.
go, an
There
Android
it
guy.
is,
You
there it
guys
is.
are all high and mighty on your iPhones. Fuck. Oh, God.
Oh, speaking of high and mighty, let's change gears a little bit. Let's talk about Las Vegas, man, because there was an interesting article I was reading today talking about online gambling and how prevalent it has become. And, now there's casinos seemingly everywhere. I mean, I don't think there's virtually anywhere in America you can't drive an hour and get to some sort of a casino. Right. And it got me thinking, what has Las Vegas done to remain the mecca of that industry that is now completely diluted, that so many people still get on Spirit Airlines and fight each other on the way here? I mean, what
Do you go to Chuck E. Cheese for the pizza?
No, it's Pasquale's Pizza now.
Yeah, you
didn't see
can
that?
order it during
Come
COVID.
on, you've had to have heard this.
Oh, COVID.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
No. During
COVID, at the very first
Totally
of COVID. Oh, yeah.
During-
brilliant power move. That's a power move.
Power move. You get that's for you, Chuck E. Cheese.
What?
That's for you. No, Chuck E. Cheese went on
And rebranded their name, or
when
just
it
made up
finally
a
hit,
name.
They just made up a name, Pasquale's Pizza, and put it on all of like the
Grubhubs and all that.
Oh.
So people were ordering pizza from Pasquale's,
Saying it's
Chuck E.
amazing
And
and
it was-
whatever.
That's great.
and
That's
it was
great.
Chuck E. Cheese's
But I'm
just
saying
cardboard
you
pizza.
go to Chuck E. Cheese to have your kids play on the thing and the lights. It's for your kids, right? Now do that for adults. You don't come here to gamble.
No. I agree.
You used
But
to,
my
not anymore.
point was, let's try to dissect. let's pull apart, if you will,
Sure.
what Las Vegas has done to remain the number one destination in the world for this. even though it's
Sin
side diluted.
City.
I know. So
I have I have this really thing about this city that I love. Talk about marketing efforts.
Yeah.
Okay, the Sin City thing. You go, what is Las Vegas in people's minds versus what it actually looks like, right? Everyone thinks it's going to be The Hangover. Everybody thinks it's going to be swingers.
I think they want it to be that.
They want it to be, but here's the thing.
That's a successful
Everybody
trend.
wants to have a place, right, where they can go and get crazy. What happens is you get 3 of your buddies, 2 of them are splitting hotel rooms. They think they're going to come meet like hot chicks and gamble and win and take the house down. It's going to be this huge party. And they get here, they end up like, going out for dinner at 8 because the guys were dicking around and having a beer down.
Yeah.
It's this back and forth where it's never what you think it's going to be. And then you go to a nightclub and they talk to some girl who's in a bachelor party from Oklahoma and they go home that night going, bro, did you see I almost got that girl's number? Right? It's not like 4 guys having some...
I almost got her number.
Wow.
Instead of this, they think it's going to be a freak fest for all their buddies. It's just going to be this crazy wild guys night out. It's really not a lot's happening. But they've sold the image of there being this wild and crazy time so hard that people will go just to have the freedom, the luxury of freedom to act a fool or to just be able to not be in their 9 to 5, their day-to-day routine, right? And then they'll go home, be like, man, that was such a crazy trip. Meanwhile, nothing really happened.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Because prostitution's not legal here. Drugs aren't legal. Here.
Ding, ding, ding. Shocker.
There's a lot of stuff that people think it's a free-for-all here, and it's not. It's highly regulated. It's highly...
But apparently that's getting less deregulated. Do you know that there's weed stores on Fremont? On Fremont.
Which I don't know how they got past that, that zoning
where?
and that thing.
Down
On Fremont Street.
On Fremont, under the canopy.
On the
Oh, really?
Yeah, Scott went down there this weekend, friend of ours. Scott went down there and watched 3 Doors Down play downstairs or downtown. They played for free outside. And he said that he says now there's like weed stores on Fremont, and it's not like the CBD oil. They walked in, it was legit like weed stores. And he goes, there were so many people, and it was so hot, and it was so much weed smoke hanging in the air in Fremont. He goes, you just couldn't even, because my eyes were burning.
I think that is probably one of the biggest negative things we have going on in Vegas is not weed, but the smell of it, right?
Yeah, I'm not
that
a big
smell,
fan.
you go through any walkway to go to a casino, and it's, I don't get it, but I think that's something that really needs to be taken care of here because I think it's pissing off a lot of gamblers, a lot of people.
They're trying to get the smoking lounges now. They're trying to get those licenses,
Yeah, I think
which I think they should.
Just like cigars. Like if you don't
started on that.
if you don't like cigars, right? I get it. Go to a smoking lounge.
Okay, here's the thing.
And have a
I'm
place
a
where you
huge-
can smoke
Let's ask.
huge.
Colt, you love cigars.
I'm a huge cigar
You
person.
like a good cigar, don't you?
I haven't smoked a cigar, and I tried to smoke a cigar one time in the last 10 years.
All right, cool. All right, I'm with you. I'm not my thing, right?
just
And
don't,
and I'm the opposite.
Okay.
I love it, but you have to have respect, right? Like I will never go have a cigar, John. You've never seen me.
No.
Never seen me smoke a cigar. I'll go to
in
a
Mexico.
cigar.
I'm in Mexico,
Oh,
so I
Mexico.
smoke.
Okay, but I'll go to cigar bars, right? Like I'm not walking around like those
You know what
idiots.
you're getting.
If
You know
you're
what you're
coming to
getting.
Vegas and you're a cigar person, you guys. Don't smoke cigars at the table. Don't smoke them. Walk around the casino.
Walk through the casino with a cigar.
It's kind of obnoxious, and I don't mind it.
obnoxious.
It's so
and I love it. I love the cigar smoke, but that is such a dick move.
just a
and
lot.
obnoxious.
It's such a dick
But I
move.
think you sit there and say nothing really happens in Vegas, and I get what you're saying, but I think also we have been really, I think our lack of awareness of how wild our lifestyles or our things around us are. Like I walked down the strip to meet some people on Saturday, girls topless walking around, and I walked by and didn't even think of it, right? Until then people are like, see that girl topless, and I'm like, what girl?
Like
and
actually
everybody,
topless?
no, she had like a coat, but it was open. But yeah, I'm just like, I don't know. I guess I started thinking that.
There's two. I mean, I always tell people the worst thing about living in Vegas is you don't get to go to Vegas.
Oh,
that's what
But that's a real good point.
It is a good point.
We go to like Napa.
I know. I know.
And even the shows like Zoomanity.
Yeah.
So
your disdain for humanity.
My disdain for humanity.
Oh, it's a dildo. Look, it's
my
crazy.
goodness! Like 2 guys kissing. Like nobody cares anymore. Like if you're not from the middle of some midwestern town where that kind of isn't
that
the
there's
norm.
anything
But
wrong
I
with
think
being from the middle of the
there's a
If
lot
If
of
you don't
those
see it
people.
all the time. Yeah, maybe it's shocking.
Yeah.
I think
to
there
me-
are a lot of people, and I think that's where my point is
Yeah.
because maybe you see a lot of dildos, Chris. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I've been over to your house, Colt.
I feel like he's looking at one right now.
You want a fun real
Colt.
estate story? So one of my buddies is like, hey, come with me. I'm flying in to look at this penthouse at Turnberry. Very nice luxury high rise. We go up. The lady's 80 years old. We go in and we're looking at the bathroom. And he goes, is that a gold penis? And I'm like, no. And he goes, I swear her faucet was a gold penis with balls. And I looked, I'm like, no, the lady's 80-something, but it does look like a penis. I'll give you that. Turn the corner. There is a wall that's probably 15 by 10 feet of diamond encrusted, like just dildos.
So not
she had to have
ones.
them. No, like $1 million. I turned to
on
the
your
guy.
personal preference,
Yeah, no shit. But I turned to the guy, and go, that definitely was a penis and balls in the
Yeah.
bathroom. But the weirdest stuff you see in Vegas, but I think you do. I think you just, that's great what you said.
You're habituated to it a little bit, but
Yeah.
my point is, it's not the hangover.
Well, I think what Vegas has done is they've done an excellent job of hanging on to the history of what made it where it is, while adapting to where the ball is going. I mean, which is really it's a really interesting dynamic you're seeing right now. All of that, but just you're saying, it went from, the Rat Pack and the swinging 60s and that stuff to the mega resorts of when Steve Wynn first built the Mirage, and then that became this, and then you've got all these giant hotels coming down when the old guard comes down and the new hotels come
Cardboard pirates come up.
and then you go through the $1 million a night DJ craze, which I think is rapidly on its way out.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah,
after the fiasco at the Palms. Oh
Yeah.
my God. After that. Yeah.
What an
that's
interesting situation.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
hence why it's sold.
Yeah. It's,
And
hence why
it opened for like 7 months,
Yeah.
8
Yeah.
months.
For those
do you
of you
think
for those of you who don't know what that story is, so there was apparently a little bit of the Palms opened up here with a star-studded, if you will, DJ lineup with
Cardi B,
Marshmello, Cardi
Marshmello
B, and
was a
Marshmello,
resident, yeah.
and all these residents, and it found out that some of these contracts they got, I think Marshmello was making $1 million, $2 million a night, something stupid, something nuts, and then it came out that not all that money was necessarily staying in the pocket of the artist, and some of the guys that actually cut the deals were participating in some of those profits. And
Some of those people are not in the States.
are not in the States. Yeah, they've
Some of the
fled the
people we
country.
know, yeah.
They fled the
made a lot
country,
of money.
and there you go. But I think the DJ culture now, I think people are sick of it. I think they're over it. And you're looking at have you been to Delilah yet at the Wynn?
Yes.
You've been to. I mean,
That's so throwback.
yeah, dude. It's spring. What if those of you who don't know, in Vegas right now, there's this really big kind of throwback going on, like Chris just said, where they're bringing back some of what made Vegas kind of glamorous in the
that's right,
60s.
yeah.
These showrooms, these supper clubs. Delilah is a beautiful supper club. It actually looks like it's out of the Great Gatsby.
I
It's
thought
gorgeous.
it's totally Gatsby. It's weird because it's Gatsby, but they bring in like 50s stuff too.
Yeah,
So
really
it's
cool.
20s, 50s, and like 70s.
Yeah. I think you're going to see a shift from the more to that.
To like, and they had a jazz cabaret playing, and
Yeah.
which I personally was thrilled about.
Because who did you talk to that night at your table? I can answer that. Anybody you wanted
Yeah.
to, because you could actually hear what the hell was going on.
Oh,
Yeah, you didn't have to scream.
Is that not the worst?
Yeah.
Like going to a restaurant, and you got to scream. And I think the lounges are going to make a real big comeback. I mean, they really have in Vegas, but I think a lot of that old school mid-century stuff's going to play back. But also they're trying to get, Resorts World's kind of going a Ibiza type of
But how much do you
feel.
think of that is because of COVID and people realizing that I don't maybe want to be crammed around all these people?
Well,
I think it was out before that.
That and I'm sorry. The nightclub operators in Vegas do such a piss poor job. It's one thing they're terrible at of dealing with the entrance to the club of the people that want to be in the club.
Right, absolutely.
I mean, I never walk up to a nightclub not on the list. It's just something I just would never
Obviously,
do.
you wouldn't go.
You just wouldn't. I wouldn't even bother to try to do it.
No.
But even when you have a table, when you have a table with people and it's reserved and it's a whole thing,
Still half hour.
okay, you got to stand out front. Then you go into this holding pen. Then you go over to this holding pen. Dude,
Hey,
just
can you go get Bob? He's got my thing. Okay, Bob's going to be your host, and you have to go in.
yeah.
And,
You know what? I used to run a nightclub. I used to run several of them back in the day. I'm going to tell you a little secret. Here's a secret: the people outside your club are not spending any money.
Right.
If you get them in, they will spend more money than out. I don't.
But I think a
understand
lot
that.
of
I
it's
don't get it.
psychologically too. I think they like
It's
to make the line look.
Whoever
big.
came
I
up
don't
with
know.
that is the
Yeah.
dumbest thing.
Wow, it's
That's
like
the dumbest
Allegiant trying to buy a beer at a game, by the way, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God!
I don't
What
understand
a
any operator.
disaster.
No.
But
That
I don't mean
doesn't
just
take
their
cash.
systems failing. I mean, when we went for the first preseason game, it took me 30 minutes to get a beer.
Oh boy.
30 minutes to stand in line. It was wall to wall people standing in line. I'm like, wait a minute. This isn't like an over capacity event. This is just a preseason half sold out game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where were you?
In the Allegiant?
Yeah. Where you see there?
Like,
What
those are like literally 50-yard line tickets.
Oh, yeah, that's not good.
Like, that was the nice section.
Yeah, that's not good. You weren't like in the.
No, we weren't. No, those weren't the bleeder seats.
Okay. Got
So
it.
I think a lot of businesses
50-yard line
do.
in like the threes.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Like real sitting nice, low.
Yeah.
Great. 30 minutes to get a beer. They don't have guys.
Beer vendors.
The beer vendors.
I noticed. Where's my peanut guy? Where's that guy?
Where is any of that? Allegiant has really dropped the ball on.
Well, here, you know why?
think a
Though?
lot of
Because
them.
you know why? Because they're cashless.
Cashless.
Yeah, but those guys stand there too at the Knights game and they're cashless.
Yeah, there are beer people at Allegiant.
That's a good point.
There
That's
are
a good point.
And you know what's so funny is the guy's like, wait, you're charging me $14 for that beer? I just paid $9, and the beer guy goes,
Oh, when's the last time you've been to a game? Because $9 we can get you a water.
no, but no, he was complaining
Back
at
in
the Guns N'
63.
Roses. No, but
Yeah,
he
he
was
went to Guns N'
whatever it was. It was like a $5 difference, and the guy goes,
It's 23
wait.
as opposed to 18.
Yeah, and he's like, well, get your ass up and walk up there and buy a beer. Then I'm like, wow, that's great customer service.
there you go.
But I think a lot of businesses are trying to make things so automated that they don't realize it's making it so hard to spend money. Like I've felt like the last couple of years, I've been to a lot of businesses. I'm like, I want to spend money. I want more drinks. I don't. Me and you, I think we're out and we had one drink. I think it was me and you. It was like 2 hours. We're like, really? We'd have had 5 or 6.
The views of Colt Amidan do not.
Exactly.
No, but I think I don't think people put themselves in their situations anymore.
They haven't hired somebody from McKinsey to come down and maximize revenues. Let's put it that way.
No.
They've literally. Maybe it's a way because it's Raider Stadium and they don't want to. Maybe they're trying
not to get everybody fight drunk.
You know what I mean? Create bottlenecks to prevent there being overconsumption.
Maybe.
But how? So why go to a football game?
No, because I'll tell you this. All right, this is a helpful hint for anybody coming to Las Vegas to watch a Raiders game. If you're coming here, here's this. Okay, number one, we are at altitude here. We're not sea level. So if you're coming here, alcohol is going to affect you more than it will in other places.
2,000.
If you are coming here,
2,500 feet.
If you're coming here before October 31st, anytime before that, it is going to be hot as hell. You are going to be dehydrated. Alcohol is going to affect you differently. I saw so many people throwing up, just passed out, done in the stands that were Seahawks fans that were just cooked.
Oh yeah,
Because they came and because I just don't think I'll be fine. We tailgate all day. They don't understand.
I didn't even think about that.
It's the same
fact that this 2,500 feet elevated.
It's the same thing when you go to a game in Denver. It's the same thing.
That's 5,280 feet.
Yeah, but you go there and people are just done in the stands. The same thing, visitors.
But
You've got to take it.
You're right.
You got to take accommodation for that. And they come here and the heat, and the elevation.
It is September 7th. It's 110 this week.
It's 110 degrees outside.
Yeah. I'm one of these weird assholes now that I can't wait for the heat to continue.
Really?
Yeah, my wife won't get in the pool if it's like less than 95. Like it literally has to be the dead hottest part of summer before we can enjoy it back.
Do you have the solar on the pool?
No,
You got to get the solar.
I know.
Wait, didn't I just see your solar broke?
No, dude, that was the pressure gauge on top of my filter blew, and it was like Old Faithful. It was a stream of water going all the way to the top of my house. I was like,
I thought it was your solar.
well, no. Here's funny. I'm literally sitting in the house, and my daughter goes, "Daddy, does the pool look a little low?" I was like, I got there, I go, yeah. She's like, no, it normally doesn't get down below like the black part. And I go, no. Maybe he's cleaning the tile. Maybe the pool guy's doing something weird. I don't know. It's fine. And then she goes, it doesn't look right. And as soon as I opened the door, I could hear it just raining.
Why is your brother kayaking in our backyard?
Exactly. We got that done. But you know what I want to talk about though, before we run out of time on this episode was, I don't know if you know who the DeMellos are. These two girls, they have like 125 million followers on TikTok. It's insane. And they came out with a show this week, and I did not watch it. I just read an article on it. But it was funny because at some point, they're showing like what it's like to be an influencer behind the scenes of being an influencer. And this girl was very upset because of all the mean things that they get.
Sure.
All the mean stuff you get. And then I'm going to kind of combo this with, I saw a video of Lizzo that was out over the weekend where she was all upset, crying about the hate that she gets from social media commentary because she feels that she's overweight and that's why she gets all this hate. And I got kind of a mixed bag of opinions on this.
Like,
all right.
Why read the comments?
No. Well okay. Here's more. Let me tell you. So before there was Facebook, like back in the old days, kid, before there was Facebook,
when Colt was buying $9 stadium beers,
when Colt was buying $9 stadium beers, exactly. Before there was all that, there were internet forums, is what they were called. All right. And these internet forums, there was one called Television Without Pity was the name of this forum. And it was basically for fans of reality television to talk about reality television, right? And so when you do a reality television show, as I did back in the day on The Apprentice, you do it, it's in the can. You shot it a long time ago. So you're at home, like back in your real life watching this stuff. And here we are running the tech firm. And man, I got to tell you, it's so engrossing to watch people you don't know talk about you online.
Oh, I bet.
On that level.
Yeah.
And I mean, it gets consuming. And I tell you what, when they were talking good about me, because of course, I like to say that I took the most dramatic nosedive in reality show history after the first episode. Everybody's like, that guy's going to win by episode 6. I'm like, fuck that guy. But yeah, so, but man, when it was like, this guy's great, he's the best, man, this guy's awesome, go Team John. I'm like, yeah, this is great. And then they're like, this, knockoff
shit,
looks like Vince Vaughn and, got fat and had a kid and whatever, loser wannabe. And I'm like, no, don't say that. I mean, it gets engrossing. And so part of me, feels bad for these people because it's a mind screw when they turn on it. It is. But part of me also is like, doesn't that come with the business? Like, didn't you know what you were getting into when you got into it?
Yeah. Look, the mature response and answer to all those things is, why are you reading comments from people who don't know you? You don't know them. Some people go online to be mean because they're unhappy or whatever. Yeah. I stopped posting online about political stuff. I stopped posting online about things. I belong to some meme groups. I don't engage with people anymore because we're not having honest discourse. Yeah. You're not sitting there thinking about somebody's feelings. Did I tell you that time that Craig Goliath posted something? He's this massive 360-pound bodybuilder who lives in town.
No.
And a bunch of bodybuilders had passed away, and he wrote a comment on there. I think I might have mentioned this, saying, gone too soon or whatever. And a bunch of people were like, "You're next." On this guy's fucking Instagram, and it's like, he's a person. Not trying to be
and he's
soft
a giant person.
Well, why should he have posted? It's like that's his crime was going on there saying, "Hey, rest in peace." It's like, you follow him. He doesn't know who you are, right? There's a reason we're not talking about you. Because you don't do anything. Right. Yeah. So he does something, so you take your shots at him because you have a problem. That's a you problem. Yeah. You want to have his notoriety for his physique. You want to be that person, and it doesn't manifest itself in reality. So you're angry. So you take, but we know that in psychology.
But again, I think it's wishful thinking, and it's not going to happen. Look, I mean, kids growing up in school, they have the don't be bullies, and they have all that stuff. Guys, as long as there is, dark
people breathing, there's going to
be as long as there's dimly lit rooms and basements with computers. There's going to be guys banging on keyboards saying some nasty things.
And it was the Twitter egg guy that was on the commenter too. Is the Twitter egg? That's what used to be that guy. He's not out there with a public persona and all these stuff. It's like, what do you do for a living? Who are you? So Lizzo, it's like she's mad that people are commenting about her body size. It's like, well, Lizzo, kind of the reason you're so popular is because girls find you empowering.
That's your thing.
For seemingly not caring. Yeah. And like owning it and being out there about it, right? Yeah. You're not wearing big sweaters, girl. You've got like a lot of different stuff that shows that, hey, look at me. My persona is somebody who's comfortable with the way I look and who I am. So own it. Steer into it. Yeah. You can't have it both ways, though. Yeah. You just can't. No. Sure, perfect world, people wouldn't be assholes. Yeah. But at the end of the day, we know that people can be assholes. So,
especially when they can hide behind a fake Twitter or fake thing. And that's it. And I don't think there's no one in the world that can get hate mail and it doesn't bother them. It's based on, like, you look at Kevin Durant. What was that? Only 2 years ago that he came out that he had a fake Twitter going after people, bad mouthing them. Like you're in my opinion, the best basketball player out there, right? Like, why would you? But I think people don't realize how to take in negativity and just let it go through.
We're not supposed to have this, though. Here's the thing. What's that called? Is it Dunbar's number or whatever? The amount of people you should know in your tribe? Yeah. It's like you should really know about 125 people, right? There's some number. I don't remember exactly what it is. But there's an amount of people that you can hold in your conscious thoughts, okay? Yeah. And that had to do with, like, tribal survival. Because the fear was you being excommunicated from your tribe because that meant death. And that's in your DNA.
So you have to hang on to so many people.
You have to hang on to having some amount of social acceptance. You will fear social rejection because it means at a genetic level that's death, right? So that's where that comes from. That, oh my God, people don't like me. It's a panic, and it's in your DNA. I think it's at a molecular level that you need to be liked or want to be liked, socially accepted. And you'll throw someone else under the bus to maintain that. That's why that you're looking for social ingratiation.
Well, I just think it's such an interesting thing that people will put people on pedestals and then start hammering down at the bottom of them with axes. And I think as long as there's keyboards, I think we're going to continue to see that. It's just one of those things. Well, thanks for joining us for another episode of The Power Move. If you're watching us on YouTube, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, comment on the video below. If you're listening to us somewhere else, make sure you subscribe to get notified with new episodes. And if you like what we do, tell a friend. If you hate what we do, tell two, because remember, it doesn't matter if they're talking good or bad. What is it, Chris?
As long as they keep talking about it.
As long as they keep talking about you. Next time, guys. Hey, it's John Gafford. If you want to catch up more and see what we're doing, you can always go to thejohngafford.com, where we'll share any links that things we talked about on the show, as well as links to the YouTube where you can watch us live. And if you want to catch up with me on Instagram, you can always follow me at thejohngafford. I'm here. Give me a shout.